Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Gaming Guitarist, and Sony just finished their Gamescom conference, and you might be wondering if you're watching this video out of context. I slept during Microsoft's conference. I was going to wake up at 6:30 a.m. because Gamescom is in Germany, but I completely slept through it, so I will be watching that after I record this to make a video about Microsoft's conference. So, I'm going to give you guys a recap of what happened during Sony's Gamescom 2014 press conference. So first, they just showed a few trailers. They showed a trailer for The Order 1886 and another trailer for Little Big Planet 3. Just not too exciting. We've already seen them before. They didn't show too much. They showed a bit more of the customization that you can do to the characters, and just a sneak peek at the level editor in Little Big Planet. That was really it. Then they showed a new trailer for Bloodborne. Bloodborne, of course, being the new game from Software, who are the developers behind Demon Souls and Dark Souls. And the thing that makes this one interesting is this one is being directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, who is the same game director from the original Dark Souls and Demon Souls, because he did not work on Dark Souls 2, and this is what he was working on this entire time. So that was that, and they showed gameplay for the first time, and it looks pretty damn good. And then they made an announcement they said that so far, worldwide, globally, there have been 10 million PS4s sold to consumers. This isn't sold to retailers. It's just like other people would say. This is just flat out 10 million sold, period, to consumers. Next, there was a trailer for a new game by Q Games and Dylan Cuthbert, who were the original people that made, what the fuck was it, Pixel Junk. And and if you don't know who Dylan Cuthbert is, he pretty much helped bring 3D graphics to consoles. He pioneered the technology, the 3D technology that was used in the Super Nintendo that powered games such as Star Fox and Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo. Anyway, he has his own studio, Q Games, and they have a new game called The Tomorrow Children. And the one thing that I remember from this art style is it's very interesting. It looks a bit like claymation, but the 3D world, it looks like you're playing it on a board game, kind of like Hitman Go, but with a bit different visual style. It looks pretty neat. Then they showed a trailer for The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which the graphics look really great, and looks like an investigation game, kind of similar to how L.A. Noire was, and that Disappointment that was known as Murdered Soul Suspect. And I don't know about you, but if you saw this trailer, it almost made it look like it was going to be using Project Morpheus or the PlayStation Move. So that was that. And then they showed another game called Volume, which is supposed to be a modern-day take on Robin Hood that is a stealth game, which uses bright neon colors and a bunch of geometry. Next was Hollow Point, and this is a third-person tactical shooter. It looks like it's a blend of 2D side-scrolling, and then it jumps to an isometric view, kind of like how Transistor was. And next they announced that DayZ is coming to the PS4. Okay. Next they announced Hellblade, which is the brand new game from Ninja Theory, who are the developers behind that fucking disappointment that was known as DMC, Devil May Cry, that god-awful reboot. And those are the same people that also made Heavenly Sword. And then they showed a new trailer from Rhyme, which is from Tequila Works, who are the same developers that made Guacamelee. And the art style looks really nice. It's hard to describe it, but it's a very unique visual aspect to it, and it's like a boy on a journey, kind of like The Life of Pi or something like that. It kind of gave me that vibe. And then Bungie and Activision walked out on stage and they talked a bit more about Destiny, and they gave more information on the exclusive content that was going to be there at the show. They mentioned how there were going to be the different multiplayer maps. They showed a trailer for the Crucible, which is the multiplayer mode, and they also announced that Destiny has become the most pre-ordered new IP of all time. So, congratulations, Bungie. If only they can get away with pre-order exclusives, because that's bullshit. But anyway, it's for a whole other video. And then they showed gave more information for Far Cry 4 when they talked about the Keys of Karat, which is where you can play co-op with a friend of yours on PlayStation Network, where you can play with them even if they don't have the game. And they said there's 10 keys and you can give them to 10 friends and they can play with you for 2 hours. Next, they showed a new trailer for Shadow of Mordor, which their AI system just looks revolutionary. How time is always moving forward, but the enemies will always remember you, and they will get promoted in rank and all this stuff. Looks pretty good. Next, Hideo Kojima walked out on stage to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5. The Phantom Pain, and he gave a trailer about the cardboard box, which is more features that the cardboard box has, which looks like a big teaser for the hour-long live stream that they're going to be doing on Twitch, where they show more new gameplay from it. Next, they showed a game called PT, which is, at first I thought it was paper towels, but no, it was an interactive teaser, which they are claiming to be the first interactive teaser, and I might be wrong here, but I think it's free on the PlayStation Store for the PS4. You can download that right now. I have no idea what the hell it's about, but I might make a video of me playing that. Next, they talked about System Software 2.0. And then one thing I noticed is a lot of the features that are on the PlayStation 4 right now, they are things that are not really... A lot of the things that they showed during the original reveal on February 20th, 2013, a lot of those features haven't made it yet, but now it slowly looks like they're making their way towards becoming a reality, and it begins with SharePlay. And that is the feature they originally talked about during the reveal, where another player can take control of your game wherever they are over the internet. And I believe this is a feature that is available to PlayStation Plus members. And it looks really cool. So if you're, let's say, for instance, for example, if someone is live streaming and they get stuck at a part, but someone in the chat room says, hey, I know how to get through there, and let me help you out. So he can help them get through that one really tough spot. And that's just one instance I can see it working with. And then, the other cool thing about it is, and they don't even need to own or download the game, which makes me wonder if this is in any way similar to that whole friend and family shared library thing that Microsoft was originally doing during the Xbox One, but they got rid of that feature. I wonder if that's anywhere similar to how that was going to turn out. We'll just have to wait and see. And then they announced that PlayStation Now is coming to Europe in 2015, and the beta is coming first to the UK. And for me, if you want to hear my 2 cents on PlayStation Now, I am not going to touch that thing. I will not support anything because I do not support the business model they're going towards, because you have to rent games there. And the thing is, their prices are way ridiculously overpriced. I mean, you have to pay like $5 for 4 hours to play a game for 4 hours. Why can't there just be a simple subscription model? It sounds like it should be so simple, but Sony really dropped their testicles on that one. Next, they said that the PlayStation TV will be coming to Europe, and they also said that it's coming to North America on October 14th. Next, they said, do you remember a game called Until Dawn? It was announced, I believe, in 2011 during Sony's GamesCom conference, and it has been completely reworked from the ground up for the PS4, and it never came out on the PS3, so now they moved it over to the PS4, and it looks pretty interesting. It seems like it's going to be an interactive horror game similar to The Walking Dead or Heavy Rain or the game that was so awful, Beyond Two Souls, where everything you do affects that. That from the trailer, I got that type of vibe that it's going to be one of those kinds of interactive story games, and it looks pretty good. Never really seen a game try to be horror and make the interactive story. Oh, I'm tired. As you can tell, I woke up just for this. Next, they talked about. Next, they said that Tearaway, Media Molecule came out, and I wish they would have just made a new IP, but instead they said, you know what, Tearaway didn't sell anything because no one has the Vita, so you know what, we're going to bring this game to the PS4 and rework a lot of the mechanics for the PS4. And the things that they're showing is really neat. Like, for example, you have they're turning the light bar into a flashlight in the game. You point it at the screen to light certain things and to like help grow plants and all this stuff. And you can capture an animal, and you can hear him inside your DualShock, and then you spit him out, and then you send him flying as if he's some sort of catapult. Really interesting the way they're working all that stuff. You know, I really like how Media Molecule is doing. They seem to be one of the most unique developers. And next, Alienation was announced, which is a new game from Housemarque, who are the developers that made Resogun, Super Stardust HD, and Dead Nation. And this one, it looks to be fucking gory as hell, and I really want to play it because Resogun was a huge surprise for me. That game is really addictive. You can just sit on your ass and play it for hours. Next, they announced Wild, which is a brand new game from Wild Sheep Studios. Or Wild Sheep Studio, I believe. It's not plural. But this looks interesting. It almost looks like prehistoric, almost, where they have these really huge animals, and you're like what appears to be a caveman and a cave woman, and you get to play with animals, and you get to choose between playing with the humans or the animals, and it's like you're hunters and in the wild, of course, as the name implies, and it looks intriguing. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. That is everything, and that was the last thing they showed, and that is everything that went down at Sony's GamesCom conference. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Please subscribe to my videos, I would appreciate it, and if you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, please dislike it. Yeah, so that's it. Bye.